Barnsley today, just workshopping stories from mining history and recreating that through dance and music and acting. This particular project is called the Canary Boys, all themed around mining heritage.
And we've just briefed all the artists about exactly how the day's going to run, and just about to start.
I'll introduce the day to everyone in that room, which is the dance space. Luke, who is helping write the show for next year, he's going to lead a discussion on mining.
This area is, well, it was certainly a really big mining hub. And we the person we just spoke to on the train who was a miner and said there was 23 pits around this area.
Well, what we're trying to get out of them is to encourage them to sort of expand on their history, if they have a history of mining, or just to find out what they know already about it. It's just kind of drawing it out of them. It's not us imposing this and that because we don't have that specific knowledge.
So we're quite excited today because we're doing it slightly different to the one we did before, and we're having a slightly different collection of young people who are more interested in not just one discipline but two. So we've decided to reflect on that, and we're changing the structure of the day so that we're actually providing all of the young people the opportunity to do some dancing, some acting and some music making.
So far, just been an icebreaker. People who've come from all over Barnsley and local areas, getting to know each other and us. Next year, hopefully, we're going to be performing a piece of music and dance which is based on mining history, and hopefully some things we come up with today will be in that show. Luke is helping write the show, and we're going to have a quick chat about some things we talked about just now.
As an exercise, I thought it might be quite fun is to make a big list of all the things that we think we know about the mining world. My name is Luke Barnes. I'm a playwright and screenwriter, and today I'm here meeting the young people of Barnsley to talk about what it's like to grow up in the mining community. Hopefully get some material to put into the main show next year.
They used to eat pasta so that they could get all the nutrition without without having to wash their hands, and they wouldn't eat the crust so that they could hold the crust.
Oh, that's interesting. So the hard bit of the crust is there so it wouldn't get dirty,
yeah,
and they wouldn't have to eat coal.
They would use elevators there, not the ones we have now, but they would have shafts, and they would use horses as well.
Yeah.
It's what my granddad told me when he was down in the mines. He would have horses, and they would have ropes to have the horses.
Yeah.
And, they would have lamps. It was all dark, and people would get hurt in an instant. Even then, it was an attack. Many deaths down in the mine, so many men would die, even children.
It's interesting hearing because clearly a lot of these mines closed before these kids were born. So I think what's really interesting is this idea of these clearly older men needing their story to be told. And the fact that these men are telling these 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 14-year-olds these stories, I think reinforces the point of making this piece in the first place. This is a dying community, a dying trade in this country. And I think it's a really important mission statement to preserve the identity and preserve this core purpose of these communities.
I want you to think of a single word about mining.
First word that comes to your head.
Everyone got something? So now what I want you to do is to sing that word. Doesn't matter how, just whatever feels naturally. And we'll do it all together. Ready? It's been really nice to see that the children have really thrown themselves in, explored doing things in a very different way. So we're not using notated music, we're moving away from a different dance style that they're normally used to, and also thinking a lot about character and getting them to think about individual character. So I'm going to hum a little melody in a minute, and when you're ready, I want you to join in however you see fit. So in a minute your alarm clock is going to go off. In your own time, make the sound of your alarm clock. It might be a bit different to other people's. And then you're going to wake up.
So So the dancers are now going to do a bit of music and acting, and so the musicians and the actors are now doing a bit of dance, which they probably would have never have thought about doing today. But that's the whole idea. They're being brought into our world, and we're doing some really interesting things for them later.
Great. So I'm going to do a trolley, and then we're going to push the trolley 4 steps. Yes, and we're taking it to another cage that would then take it up. Yeah, pushing it on a conveyor belt and all of that. Do you guys understand? Can you see what we're trying to achieve? Yeah, so you're trying to create something that's I feel like they've done really well. They've all done well in the discipline that is not the one they usually practice. In this group today, we actually have some people who study musical theatre, so that's a great help because they all have a little bit of experience in all different parts of being on stage, so that's been helpful.
And also this time, the cage, when it goes down, it's not going down smoothly, and it's going to jutter, and then it's going to carry on, yeah? So here we go again, ready? And good. Okay, so now come out to the cage, and you're going to find whatever you were doing in the mine. So some of you
I think it's a challenge for them, but I also think it's something good because the aim of Constella OperaBallet is we're trying to push boundaries, we're trying to integrate these arts in a completely different way, and I think actually the kids today have been really responsive to it and they've thrown themselves into it.
So following the individual sessions, we're now bringing everyone together to create a larger piece which gives an insight into how we normally create opera ballet. And it's a very kind of organic environment where everyone is, well, 3 creators, which is myself doing music, directing, and Erico doing the choreography. We're working very much in collaboration and kind of putting it together piece by piece. What we're going to do now is that we're going to be creating a piece that involves all of you together, and it's going to build on what the things that we've done in the sessions individually. Those of you who find this quite easy, see if you can find a harmony. See if you can just sing one note. So what we've done this morning is we've now given them the tools that they need to create an opera ballet work. So what we'll be doing after the break is actually creating a large-scale piece, which will be led by myself, Ella, and Erico. Which brings all the various elements together so that everyone will see how we actually create these kind of pieces and what the outcome looks like, so that following that they'll then be able to create them totally themselves.
We got them all together and we gave them a taster of what it's like being part of the process of creating a piece of work, a short scene, collaborating with music, dance and acting. Once we got in the cage and we turned around, I feel like we could get a little bit tighter, yeah? You're all a little bit too spread.
The third session will let them kind of, we want to encourage them to come up with their own ideas, because I think a lot of stuff with art as well, it's not about imposing ideas on people, it's about the sort of honesty and coming up with your own imagination and letting that run wild.
Like we could do run and do different actions to
Just behind me right now, you can see that we've got the 3 groups, and the participants are now thinking of their own stories inspired by mining and also what they've learnt today, and they're going to be creating a little piece. So at the moment they're working in collaboration with support from the Constella artists to create their own piece.
So at the end of the day, we brought all the groups together, the dancers, the actors and the musicians, and we created this sort of overarching piece where they performed together, going down into the mine, tracing them from the beginning of the day, going into the mine. Then we split them into 3 different groups. They all told their own individual stories, and then they came back together, left the mine and went off home. It's just a sort of a day in the life of a miner, and it gives us a great opportunity to explore different material and to also actually refine and enhance our own working processes. It's really fantastic for us, and I really hope the kids got something great out of it.
about 5 minutes, we'll be performing everything that we've done to your parents.
professionally trained, it's quite different to what I'm used to, so it was quite a good experience to have. The fact that it's music, dance and drama, which is like 3 things I love basically, so it were a good thing to be able to do all 3 in one rather than splitting them off into disciplines. And then when I realised we got to swap groups and do both, do music, drama and dance rather than just one, that I really liked.
Great bunch of kids, some really enthusiastic, talkative kids, and they were really keen to get involved, particularly the cross-disciplinary stuff, which is always nice. Finding musicians who are happy to act and move and sing, and dancers who are happy to act as well as speak and project, and it's good for them to sort of step out of their comfort zones, and they take it all on board so easily at that kind of age anyway. They're not really set in patterns of working like really professionals are, so it's really easy to help them come out of their skin. And once the ice is broken, and because there's nobody stopping them, you just give them some material and off they go. They've been brilliant.
So all of the people involved in the creation of the piece were involved in delivering the workshop, which means that we've all of us have had the opportunity to work with people of the community to create a mining piece.
I think what's important to say actually about Constella as well is the way that we work is building stuff from the ground up, working with artists right from the word go, from the commissioning of the project. For example, I'm directing this piece, but I'm working with the writer and the composer already. We're all working together. We've all, even from the initial ideas, we had meetings about what we could, in what direction we wanted to take this piece. It's kind of a hallmark of our process.